Salutations! Been a while since I did a Searching for Ranking. I looked back at my first one, Halloween Candy, so I'm like, started this a year ago? Just about. I may not have started this spooky, scary month on Castlevania, but I can at least end it by ranking all of the games. I've played most of these. I think just the bottom row here are the ones that... Yeah, there's the Kojima ones down there. I don't know what that one on the far end is. This one? I don't know if that's like... Or is that part of the... Or is that Mirror of Fate? Maybe. These are like... Or is it this game? The heck is this one then? Yeah, I can't tell. That looks like a different Rondo of Blood, in which case I didn't remember. I think Castlevania Adventure Rebirth is the WiiWare only? The rest of these I've played a little bit, or have most of. I can't rank ones I haven't fully completed. It'd be kind of mean to just go right to Haunted Castle and just stick it here just because it's hard, you know what I mean? I may have not gotten too far, but, yeah. Haven't played it all the way through. Zombies doing half my health. I'm tempted to throw it in there, but... If I haven't played it from start to finish, I can't rank it. Most of these I have done all the way through. I've even gone back to the not the 3DS, the DS ones. Because I'm still on them. I'm like, oh, I can New Game Plus it and get through them even quicker that way? Cool. Okay. So let's start with the first NES Castlevania. A lot of fun memories, a lot of great music. I think that's more than fair for the first Castlevania. Not super GOAT status. I'm trying to think if I can say anything bad about it other than just being like if the game is hard or cheap or whatever. I still think it is a... Yeah, I think I can put it there just because it like started the whole trend kind of... I know Haunted Castle did, but again, I never finished that and I probably would have put it a little lower because, my God, the skeletons in that game. I'm walking through and presto, one hit, half your life's gone. I'm like, damn. And one life to a credit, too. That's why I was... I'm tempted. It would be more down a little bit, maybe around this area, but... First Castlevania, first shot out of the box. Neural music, the platforming, the jumping is a little bit of a... But that would be a thing that would continue for most Castlevania games. Yeah, sometimes you just get it first shot out of the box, or at least in this case the second. I think this game before Haunted Castle? I'm not sure. I'm trying to think like 87, 88, where does that fall? Yeah, I don't know if I have these super in like release order. I kind of shuffled this my own way. Alright, but anyway, moving on. Simon's Quest. You... got your problems with translation and stuff like that. Yeah, you're a little... But you're also, like, the prototype for Metroidvanias as a whole, so... Even that, for some people, might be too high ranking this here, but, yeah. Just because it's short, but again, the whole Metroidvania legacy is what actually pushes it out from where I would normally put it here. I'd put it be like... Maybe here. There's stuff I can think about it. Like, it would be out of good. Like, good is just... Excellent. Maybe legendary is too high. They've learned their lesson for stuff like this. This was like the... Again, one time... Sometimes you don't get it right first shot out of the box. And kudos for them trying something a little different. Kind of Zelda 2-ish in a way. Dracula's Curse. You got the multiple character thing going on, but I don't really like remember you outside of much, to be honest. I played it and was just kind of like, okay, back to the formula, back to more of the same, nothing to make it really... That's something that really makes it stand out. So, I mean... Okay, but it's just not. It's not a terrible game. It's not a game I would look at like. You got the Grant Dynasty buff, I think, but did I even use him for like wall crawling and stuff like that. I think I might have been too complacent, comfortable with the Belmont thing, and didn't really change all that much. Again, this kind of set the tone for the Bloodstained, where you could switch characters like all the way through and use them for, instead of just one at a time. It might have like multiple endings in what you count, so that was kind of cool. So, but you got good stuff going for you, but I'm trying to even remotely remember what most of those bosses or what you call were about. I don't know. This didn't hold for me, to be honest. So yeah, take your good stat there. All right, now we get to the Game Boy games, and I didn't play the third one. I played enough of it to more of the same of the 1 and 2 with like the whip with the fireball again. I'm like, I didn't even remember the second one outside of like a really frustrating boss I had to do over and over again, so I don't know. So both of you can get slotted in there. Yeah, not the greatest of impressions there. And since I didn't finish Legends all the way through the third game with Sonia Belmont, I won't rank it. Alright, jump into Super Castlevania. Oh boy. Yeah. But over the original Castlevania. Like, better or worse? You got some things going for you. You got the whole limp whip thing. That soundtrack and everything, that presentation. Like, there's a whole thing with the, again, the sequel that it's like, you can whip diagonally. It's still a good game. Like, presentation-wise and stuff like that. Shit. Super Nintendo Konami thick as thieves with all the great shit that they've done. Like, that game's no exception. Yeah. Over the original Castlevania? Yeah. Rondo of Blood, which I didn't play all the way through. Dracula X, which I just finished. Again, you try something different. You're not gonna be. Nerfed you, they take out the whole shaft and that fucking final boss room. You'll go over the Game Boy games, that's about it. Castlevania Bloodlines, that's the Genesis game. That had something good going for it. More memorable than Dracula's Curse 3. Do I put you over Simon's Quest, though? An excellent. Definitely one of the better Genesis games. Do I put you here, maybe? How high? What you're going with really stands out. They did the John Morris and the Lacard thing with the spear. I think that's more than fair for Bloodlines. Didn't play the Game Boy version of Kid Dracula. This is the NES one that's the Famicom. You got something going for you, but man, for a kid's game, you pour out the difficulty on a lot of, like, pain in the asses. But you do something more different than, Bloodlines, so you're seeing your legendary status. Chronicles, I tried to do a of this game where I would have had to save state through, but it's a PlayStation game, and as it turns out on my Super Console, it does not really care for you loading state. It actually crashed on me and booted me back to the main menu, so I'm like, oh well. Do I even need to say anything about Symphony of the Night that hasn't been said already? Take your crown and move on. Castlevania 64. And to a bigger extent, Legacy of Darkness that added stuff to it. Man. Pain as though you might be in some cases, the aesthetic is what really makes this game for me. Like, you can actually become a vampire in this and lose the game that way, and just the whole night and day thing. They took a lot of what didn't work with some games, and well, the night and day thing was in here, but yeah, there was like more dire consequences. It was definitely like more, probably the most terrified I've ever been playing a Castlevania game, with like the whole, you know, the hedge maze and trying to run from that and everything. Like, even though I only ever rented either one of those games, and I've only ever finished maybe Cornell's story on this, they do hold a special place, but definitely not GOAT or Legendary. So where would I put you? I'll put you... since you're the more complete package, do the Henry thing with the children as well. Wherever I put you, you have to go over it. But that's what I'm trying to figure out, where to put you. Because then Legacy of Darkness, which added 2 more characters in this game as well. This was like an updated release, basically. So, overall, this for sure. Over this for sure. Simon's Quest 2. That's the thing. How high do you really want to put you? Again, scared. I feel like I know a little bit more what was going on with this game. Although, as lost as you get in 2D, 3D is like even that much worse. So, again. Yeah, over Simon's Quest 2, to be honest. Just because of how fearsome that soundtrack is. How fearsome that whole game is. It just pulls you in and grips you, and like the whole like people turning into vampires. I forget I'm playing a Castlevania game. They do like the survival horror like jump scare kind of shit, you know? They knew what they were kind of going with. It felt more of those games, and for Castlevania it hasn't really something it has been like with 3D you can actually do, so I commend the effort. So yeah, I'll put that over Simon's Quest 2 for that. Alright, now the Game Boy Advance games, which I just went through. Circle of the Moon. I like your aesthetic, but as a Metroidvania game that does it better than Simon's Quest, I do have to put you over that. And I think that's where you can lay ahead of all that. Yeah, rating these left and right, ranking-wise. By most, at least. You got the whole magic system. It makes things a little different, but for a Game Boy Advance game, the music is kind of good, which is more than I can say for Harmony of Distance. Harmony, I can remember, because Lament's like 2 games ahead of here, right here, the PlayStation 2 stuff. Yeah. Not one castle to get lost in, but 2 whole rooms to get in. I've not put anything down at the bottom of the list. Maybe it's where you two need to be. Just to put something down there, like, below this. Which is hard in and of itself, but still kind of like... Makes you higher than that. And over... I've played you multiple times, so I can put you over a couple of these games. I can put you... above Simon's Quest, and that's about as best as I can do. Yeah, the whole... It's a good game, but getting lost in not 1 but 2 castles, man. The whole room aesthetic thing. I don't know. I think you get here because you're basically being carried by a Circle of the Moon, and the really go out of your way to make like fighting enemies over and over again to get their souls or whatever. Like the replay value in this game alone and the abilities based on that, just so much weapons, so much shit to do. Like you took what really worked with Symphony of the Night and then just I put you over that though. To be fair, do you surpass Symphony? This is the question I'm asking. And in some cases you do. In some cases, an argument can be made. Like at least here for sure. But over Symphony itself. This game had more bosses, though, than this game. This game had more, like, exploration and stuff like that than this game. This game, with the Souls, you can kind of make the argument it bogged it down a little bit, because now you're doing more fighting just to stay in one area. So this kind of, like, this you can move on and do whatever and try to get items. Well, you can get drops from here later. That's the thing too. But this one like adds to it. So yeah, I think you're good there. Yeah, Symphony's just too perfect. The blend kind of. Again, the argument could be made, but for me, that's where you're saying. Okay, Castlevania Lament of Innocence. This Belmont will go after Walter End the Night. Wow. Man, do you get lost a lot in this game as well. I'll put you definitely over Dragon's Curse, but platforming in the 3D that's, while not instant death, it's somehow more of a pain in the ass than this, which I'm already looking at this like, But again, the whole survival horror factor and just a lot more was done here, I believe, than this. This was like this felt like a very first risky attempt with that. So naturally, you're going to rank you higher, Curse of Darkness, over... Definitely over those. Over Bloodlines. Yeah, I had fun with this one too. This was like a... This to actually get like things from it, you had to like... That's what was cool. That's the best part about they worked the combat and made that really neat, so... High up on the legendary. Do I put you in... Did I put you God tier, though? The Devils can get a little... I can get a little weird and tedious, maybe, because you're not just leveling up yourself, you're leveling up them. The whole Innocent Devils thing. But it's kind of like the Servant thing, just a little bit more. Yeah, I'd say it's about fair for Curse of Darkness. Love that game, but maybe just a little behind Castlevania 1. I'm not sure. Nah, you can stay where that right there. Alright, now we get to the DS games. Ooh. That's Aria of Sorrow. We got, I think this is Dawn of Sorrow. Dawn, yeah. Sorry, I got written already. Man. First Nintendo DS game I actually owned, by the way. So you got that going for yourself for me personally, but I got to try and... As much as I want to... Definitely better than those. Definitely more memorable than those. Again, the scare factor. Here's the thing. I'm not in the biggest of hurry to play the Castlevania... Whatchamacallit anymore. This... I played like a couple times and thought like... Good enough. Which I may have to start to pull you down. Maybe. Pull you down here, maybe. You guys are way better than this game here. This is a little bit better. Just so that this can creep up a little bit higher than those. Definitely over you. But the Castlevania, as far as gameplay-wise, that's what originally started the argument. To pull Sounds Christie down. Nothing more memorable than Circle. Touchscreen's a little weird. I do like the dual screen where like you have like the map and the whatchamacallit at all times while you play. So that definitely Plots at Soma. The only bad thing you can really say about it is the weird anime stuff. Like, other than that, it's like, it's a sequel to the second best game on my whatchamacallit. I think you're pretty comfortable there for now. I might put you higher by the end of it and look through all this again. I don't know. Portrait of Ruin. Charlotte, Jonathan, Charlotte, Jonathan, Charlotte, Jonathan. Charlotte, Jonathan, Charlotte, Jonathan. Definitely over... Like, if I put you there, you're going to be even higher up. But are you highest of highs? Over Super? Super got that whole scary thing for a reason, like that opening title. Opening alone, it's just like, draws you in with the music and everything else. This one does the whole, like, reverse castle, like, the repeat levels. It makes them a little harder. I know Symphony's guilty of that, too, and it's good, but... Yeah, I played this not just recently. Trying to... Because I knew I wanted to rank these, so I'm like, let me complete these again. Dual system's a nice touch. It can get a little... For some, it's a little, weird and... hard to get into because there's so many buttons now to work with. Just use stylus all the time for like a one thing, and the magic seal. I think that's what's keeping you here. That's what's keeping you here. They implemented it, they tried to implement it, make it something, and it's like, again, we're gonna use the stylus for things. You know, this was their. Yeah, the magic seal. It's like, oh, you fucked up. You gotta fight that boss still. Take him down again. Yeah. Would have been fine for one thing, but the magic seal can get a little annoying. Not that hard as long as you touch the general area. I remember playing this and was like, oh, okay. That's not too bad. I'm just messing up. It's forgiving, let's say. Over Super Castlevania 4... I definitely played you more than once. Yeah, you can go there. Over... Aria? No. Not over Aria. Not over Aria. But up there. Definitely earned its spot. Alright. Order of Ecclesia. They brought back the difficulty of, like, older Castlevania games for this one. Like, playing this level, and I was, like, getting stomped by that one boss, the giant, mechanical horse or whatever. Lost my place, kind of. Yeah, the glyphs thing that make you use MP for all your attacks now. But you lose all sense of using the touchscreen, so... Yeah, the whole Ecclesia thing did not do Dracula, and then you end up doing Dracula. Here's the thing Portrait of Ruin brought in that this game, like, kind of did more of as well. Different levels, different areas. Like, you went into portraits and you're like, oh, you're in ancient Egypt now. I thought that was cool. They did that with this game. There was, like, a whole village thing and stuff like that. Villager to save and, like, really elongate the game and flesh it out. Because some areas were, like, I don't know. I thought the areas were, like, really small. What'd I do? No. Get back up there. I thought the areas were, like, some of them are, like, really small. Like, you're, like, some of them are just, like, a single line straight on through. I'm just, like, and then you gotta do, like, mini quests and stuff like that. I'm like, you can get a little tedious, and the whole magic thing, yeah. I might even bring you... My heart hurts just doing it down here to put these, like... Let me think about this. Because putting it below the second aria, when Aria's, like, below Dawn of Sorrow, like a whole rank, that hurts me. But again, but then again, this is being carried by how great this game is, and then this was... They dumbed down the souls for this one, too, so that's why I'm thinking it that way. No, I think you can take the lead on this here. Judgment, for which this was named for. I didn't play it all the way through, and in the end I didn't have to. But I will put you over these two. I played enough of a story mode to say I've played it. Played enough of the quest mode or whatever. I wanted to like this game, but the whole Death Note thing too. Making everybody look different. I'm like, no, Grant looks nothing like a pirate now. Like, what even is he now? What is that design? Ah, man. But then you give me like Cornell, and even that design's kind of. It has its fans. I think that's about it for games or whatever that I can think of. Actually, I think this is the PlayStation 3 game. Yeah, pull out the screen and make like already hard bosses that I have to look at to see what the hell's going on even harder to see by pulling the rooms back. I get what you were going for, but nah, not for me. Not for me. Again, I wanted to like that game more too. And then the rest of this is just stuff I haven't finished. So, that is, let's review. Let's see. The homestead I can get lost in, but you're easier to find. Maybe. I mean, that's where you belong, and you're the more complete package, so you can stay where you're at. Yep, lock it in. That's my ranking for all the Castlevania games that I've played. If I haven't ranked it, it's because I haven't played it all the way through, and it'd be, I mean, I assume the Game Boy Kid tracking is the exact same as this, just black and white or whatever, but there could be some changes. Again, if I hadn't played it fully from start to finish and beat it, I can't rank it, so. Chronicles for PlayStation. Wanted to try it all the way through, couldn't. I couldn't get past stage 1 for whatever reason, and you would only get harder from there. I'm just like, again, one hit's like 60% of my health, but walking into a skeleton, I'm like, oops, and then I look at my health, I'm like, oh, I died. Wait, game over? I have to start the whole stage over again now? On one life you give me? I don't know, it just feels like that one scene of The Simpsons where Milhouse puts in like 40 quarters for I think it was a Waterworld arcade game. He takes one step. Game over. Please insert additional 40 quarters or something. And the Kajumas, I did the demo for one, and I'm like, nah, not for me. Thanks for watching Castlevania. Well, just the credits of this. As a whole, really, this whole month here. Oh, gosh. I can talk update again while I do this. And tack this on at the end of what I was doing before, which was the... I haven't done the tier maker thing for a while, and I saw the Castlevania one. I'm like, okay. Glad I could end it on that. So, it all worked out. I have 2 ideas for the month of October. Another series that Konami does for one instance, but mostly, gotta show some love to, Data East, and, I've seen it talked about on, Twitch and Twitter, hashtag Carnovember. I'm gonna... So what is that, Carnov? I won't do the arcade, that game's bullshit. I mean, the NES is too, but less so, since I take 2 hits instead of 1. I started that game a while ago and never got to finish it because I hit the wrong collection of buttons and reset the whole game on a Raspberry Pi. But no. Gonna tackle Carnov and finish it from start to finish on NES. He's in Bad Dudes. He's in a lot of, I think center stage is the final boss in Fighter's History and Fighter's History Dynamite / Karnov's Revenge. I think that's about it. So, that's not going to be enough for the whole month, so I thought I had the other idea in mind to do maybe either every, I don't know, like, What would be a good day for Yu-Gi-Oh? Like Yu-Gi-Oh-Vember. I can't think of a day or something like that. I don't know. Oh. He doesn't get to pose because he's not a Belmont. Soma poses because he's fucking Dracula. What? Oh, if he started sounding like that. I wonder if... Man. I know I got hate on Netflix, but I wonder if they're going to do, like, the Soma stuff. They're supposed to be doing Richter last I checked. So, Soma would be cool. But, yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this, spooky, scary month. But yeah, definitely the car November, but again, I just don't know if I have enough to fit in the whole month, is all I'm saying. But, with that said, take care! And thanks for watching. Blah, 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 blah.